Welcome. Today we're going to be diving into the room that was E6. Inside of there were numerous different items that the school used for storage, and today we're going to get into some of that. You know, there was a lot of desks in there, there were notebooks, there were costumes, there were French dictionaries, sped books, a whiteboard, couches, podiums, you name it. It was probably in E6. So let's get into it.
People before us actually ended up using E6 and interacting with it. It was right next to an actual in-use classroom, had a door in the classroom to go to E6, a classroom called E7, naturally.
Although E6 was a great room filled with fun times and good friends and memories of exploring it, it also got some people in a lot of trouble. For example, there was a group of people led by J-Tot, and he was one of our friends, but he got in a lot of trouble because he was trying to get into E6, so he kept on kicking in the door and ended up leaving a big hole in the door. And then one day they actually did get into E6, and they took some French dictionaries from that room because it was one of the many artifacts that was in there. And the camera caught them, so eventually the principal saw it and they got ISD.
So while we were exploring one day, we found a few boxes. They were just painted black on the outside. They're just wooden. They have little handles. But I thought it was a good idea to bring an entire screwdriver set to school in my backpack every day for a few months to open such a box. And then I did. So there was still nothing in it. But we thought of a genius plan. If the principal ever came in there for some reason, which I think he actually did, but not while we were in there, we would hide in the box. It would be so cool and so good because the box was at the bottom of the stack of boxes, I think, so it would be really easy to get in there if we ever had to hide.
One of the things that we found in E6 that we thought was very funny were costumes. One time I was exploring in there and I found an old maid costume and I just had to put that John on. It was so fire. And then after that I found one more and I put that on as well. I believe this might have been used as a storage room for the theater class as well. So maybe that's what that was for? I don't know. The school used it for numerous different things because E6, the E stands for Enigma. Piss bottles! I swear there was literally bottles of piss in there. There were water bottles with it could have been apple juice, I didn't know. I'm not gonna open it and sniff it. But dude, there was multiple of them. There was 4 or 5 of them. Yellow bottles filled up with yellow liquid, and I don't know.
One day, me and Andrew decided to actually try and go up into the roof. On the other side is this hallway where the repair guys are. And one interesting individual decided to go up there. As he went up there, his face stuck through one little portion of the tile ceiling. And I decided, or not I, someone else decided it would be very funny to take a picture and put it on Snapchat. And then we all died because the teacher found out. And we all died and she killed us. And so it was evil.
So the saddest day of E6 was when they cleared it out. All of a sudden, repair people started going in there, and they were just taking it out, and it only took them about a week. And one day, me and Owen were in E7, and we were working on the broadcast, because that was the broadcast room connected to E6. And then the repair guy comes out of E6, and I noticed that the room was almost clear. And then I asked him, man, you guys got that out really fast. How did you guys do it? And then he looks at me and goes, it's easier when you take it to the dump. And he sounded just like Bert from Big Bang Theory. I am not even capping to you.
5 minutes later, I met my soulmate.
That was the guy, that was him.
E6 and E7 are now both offices for the athletic department.
Now here's the crazy thing, and now look. This whole documentary has been solid facts, but this one, I'm about to get a little conspiratorial on them. So, at the time, Lapoma was the assistant principal, and he was very protective over this room. Like I mentioned earlier, some students got in trouble for trying to break into it, and then when they did, it got caught on camera, and it was Lapoma that actually wrote them up for doing that. Now, here's where you might be thinking, why does that matter? Because Lapoma resigned from being vice principal so he could be the athletic director. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't think athletic director pays more than vice principal. And here's the weird part, like Hunter said, E6 and E7 are now the athletic department offices. So don't you think that's a little strange that he was once really protective over it. And then when he became athletic director, they cleared out the room and made it into the athletic director office. So I'm just saying, might be a conspiracy. Maybe the reason why Lapoma didn't want to be vice principal anymore and he wanted to be athletic director was so he could reclaim E6 from us broadcast boys. Alright, so this is what E6 used to look like right here.
Oh yeah. Wait, you gotta get out of the sun.
You can barely see. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a bunch of like desks.
Yeah, it was really weird. But now we're gonna go do some investigating and see if we can figure out what it looks like now. Because this is a room that was really important to us, so we used to go in it every day.
That's true.
Yeah, have at it.
Dude, this is so crazy.
I know.
How long has it been since we've been in here?
Since sophomore year.
That's crazy. Yeah. Big ol' wall.
And E6.
Yeah, first thing we gotta get is the good ceilings.
And then you still got this thing.
Dude, that's insane. Yeah, I think that wasn't there when